A Mysterious Balloon, read to you by Carol Brigham. Each country has the right to protect the air above its land. This air is called the country's airspace. Countries cannot fly planes or other aircraft in another country's airspace without that country's permission. This is against international law. On January 28, a very large balloon flew into United States airspace. It flew over Alaska. On January 30, it crossed the U.S.-Canada border into Canada. The U.S. and Canadian military determined that the balloon was a high-altitude surveillance balloon from China. They watched the balloon to see where it would go next. Across the U.S. It crossed back into the United States over Idaho on January 31. Military leaders talked to President Biden about the spy balloon. They needed to know what to do. They estimated that the equipment at the bottom of the balloon was the size of 3 city buses. If they shot down the balloon, the pieces might hurt or kill people on the ground when they fell. If they didn't shoot down the balloon, China could learn U.S. military information. President Biden told the military leaders to shoot down the balloon when it got to a place where no one would get hurt. The military leaders watched where the balloon went. They blocked the balloon from gathering any military secrets. On February 1, the balloon flew over an Air Force base in Montana where the U.S. keeps missiles. Military leaders did not like the balloon going that close to a military base. They planned to shoot down the balloon then, but they decided it was too dangerous. They could not shoot down the balloon over land without hurting people. President Biden and the military leaders made a new plan. They would shoot down the balloon over the ocean. They would do it where the water wasn't deep. Then the military would collect the parts of the balloon. The U.S. government could study the parts to learn about Chinese surveillance. A weather balloon? On Friday, February 3, a Chinese official said the balloon belonged to China. But he said the balloon was not spying on the U.S. He said the balloon was studying the weather. He said the balloon was not supposed to fly over the United States. He said the balloon was in the U.S. by accident. U.S. officials said the balloon was not a weather balloon. They said the balloon was spying on the U.S. and it was an attack on U.S. freedom. Shot down. The balloon continued to fly across the United States. Americans looked in the sky to see if they could see it. They took pictures of the balloon and posted them on social media. By Saturday, February 4, the balloon was over South Carolina. The military got ready. At 2:39 p.m., a U.S. Air Force jet shot down the balloon over the Atlantic Ocean while it was still in U.S. territory. United States territory extends 14 miles into the ocean from the coast. The balloon parts landed in 47-foot deep water. The military started collecting parts of the balloon from the ocean. The U.S. government will use the parts they find to learn about Chinese technology. China reacts. The Chinese government was upset that the U.S. shot down their balloon. They said that the balloon was not dangerous. Chinese government officials warned that they may do something to get back at the United States. U.S. officials said that the balloon was in U.S. airspace for several days. They said they had the right to shoot it down to protect U.S. freedom. But they will watch to see if China fights back in some way. For more information about Easy English News, and to subscribe to our digital version or paper copies, visit our website, easyenglishnews.com.